fun, piece of crease? Today we're gonna be looking at the fourth season two trailer breakdown. Shout out movie, but I haven't really been talking about Power too much lately, just because, in my opinion, season three of Ghost, the whole way that shit went, it was just mad predictable. Like I knew that nigga Lorenzo was gonna be a pack. I knew Sax was going to heaven. I'm just saying, like the final episode, I guess like kind of the final two episodes, because I seen them leaked. They was decent. But overall, like when season two ended, when we seen Zeke take that escalator to Jesus, everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Like I'd do anything to have season three of Ghost right now. Like I would jump off like 100-story building with no parachute right now. Just let me watch this shit first. So I don't see that same kind of desire for season four of Ghost and season one of Force. I don't want to say it was a letdown, but I mean, I got higher expectations for this shit, and it's not as predictable because season one, the story, it was there, but it wasn't there, if you get what I'm saying. So I have high hopes for this. So let's take a look at this. Shout out to that Jamaican nigga movie bot, and let's boogie. I don't have any chaser for these fucking shooters, so I'm just gonna be chasing the shit with Burger King ketchup.
As Tommy sets his sights on taking over Chicago, he's going to come across a set of fresh new threats from law enforcement to violent drunk gangs. In Season 1, he positioned himself between the Flynn family and the CBI, taking advantage of the internal power struggles within both organizations. He also made his mark in Chicago with the only way he knows how to, by being his ruthless self, and Season 2 seems no different. The trailer for Season 2 shows Tommy being back true to his nature: violence, love, ambition, and protection. Tommy's Back is also the title for Episode 1, maybe a reference to Tommy coming back to Chicago after finally ending the beef with Tasha and Tariq St. Patrick back in New York. As we know from Season 1, actions have a way of setting off a chain reaction. Tommy will be on a mission to avenge the death of Liliana, along with taking over Chicago.
You ever get tired of being at the bottom of the top? What's standing in our way?
Just the biggest connects in Chicago.
Now the Flynn family are also torn in two, and so are the CBI, although there are clues to suggest that Junard may be Team Tommy and Diamond later on in the season. There's also a few new faces we're going to be introduced to. Miguel Garcia is the head of the Mexican organization in Chicago, a character who seems violent and domineering, with direct links to the cartel. Maria Garcia is his sister, and we all know Tommy Egan. He really is a fire starter. Now Season 2 does seem like it's going to be a lot more challenging for Tommy than Season 1. A new task force led by AUSA Stacey Marks will make the lives of Tommy and the rest of the crews in Chicago a lot more difficult, as we're working for Miguel Garcia and the returning Markovich. So there are big players in Chicago, and they're all vying for the same territory, which brings them more money, which equals more power. Now the trailer starts by Tommy outlining his ambition for Season 2. Tommy doesn't want to just be the distro for Miguel Garcia, he wants to be at the top of the food chain. But we have to think about who's in between him and the throne. We have Miguel Garcia, the new Mexican drug lord, as the new Connect. We also have the Serbs who are set to return from Season 1, led by Markovich. Now in Season 1, Tommy came to Chicago with nothing, but he managed to sandwich himself between the CBI and the Flynns, and also use their internal beef to his advantage. In Season 2, Tommy does look like he's going to try and do something similar, but to get to the top of the game, he needs to take out both Miguel and Markovich. As he says, Chicago is a violent city, and no doubt he's going to use that to his advantage.
Yo, is it just me, or did this nigga Tommy really look like Eminem in this season? Maybe I'm just tripping, but
Synopsis teases that Tommy will try and capitalize on the rivalry between the Serbs and the Mexicans, as he tells Diamond, let them fight each other while they continue expanding their territory, and then when nobody's looking, slide right on in. Tommy's ambition is pretty much set in stone. He's either going to create a fire or pour more fuel to the fire, which will definitely work to his advantage. So while the Mexicans and the Serbs are killing each other, he's going to be right there ready to take the spot as the Connect. But as I mentioned before, there are two formidable drug lords standing in his way, and Tommy really better tread carefully. Now, as violent as they come, the trailer of Force Season 2 wasted no time in introducing Miguel Garcia. As Maria Garcia said, he's dangerous. He's a character who will take no shit, whether it's from Tommy or Diamond or his own crew or enemies, which is what it seems like is happening in this particular scene. This scene matches up perfectly to the first look images that was released for Season 2. We've got some enemies of Miguel Garcia tied up to a chair, with what looks like an ice chamber of some sort, as he freezes one of their hands and forces Tommy to do the deed. No doubt this is a power move from Miguel Garcia, to not only teach his enemies a lesson of what happens if you cross him, but a lesson for Tommy and Diamond as well.
yeah, but I mean, we didn't see Tommy deal with badass motherfuckers in the past. Like I'm talking about that nigga Lobos, Jason. What was the old boy's name? Vladimir. Like I said, bro, it was mad niggas. I can't remember fucking old boy's name off the fucking top, but I can see his fucking face. But like I said, yeah, like I said, him and Ghost, they was moving, bro. Like they was outsmarting the law. Like they was doing all this shit, and I feel like for us as the fans, that was all supposed to show us, like, this is Tommy's prep time, Like, supposedly now this nigga Ghost, you know what I'm saying? This nigga whining and dining in heaven. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, it's time for Tommy to really step up and show everything that he done fucking learned all through his experiences. And I think this is the season for him to do that, man, because I feel like at the conclusion of this season, now I could be dead wrong, but I feel like at the conclusion of the season, Tommy really is going to be that top dog in Chicago. And I'm hoping and praying, a nigga is living on a goddamn prayer that Ghost come back by the end of this season. But I doubt it.
I got a soft spot for romance.
Now, it really wouldn't be a power show without Tommy having a bit of love. He's always got a soft spot for romance and love. That's just who Tommy is. But the problem with this particular...
Bro, but I'm just saying, you just seen this nigga fucking ice a nigga's hand. Like, shatter that shit like it was a fucking glass window. And you decide, I'm gonna sleep with this nigga's sister. Yo, I'm telling you, Tommy fucking just live his life on demon time.
Killer love interest is, she's the sister of Miguel Garcia, Tommy's connect. We hear Maria Garcia warn him, Miguel is dangerous, but so is Tommy. He's a fire starter. And the fact that Miguel Garcia is his connect won't stop him from connecting with Maria, but this will eventually cause him problems when Miguel does find out. This could also cause Maria problems because, as we all know, it doesn't end well for Tommy's love interests. There was Holly and Lakeisha in power, and for a brief period in time in season 1 of Force, there was also Gloria, although he did end that relationship for the sake of business. Now, whether it ends the same way for Maria, who knows, but I am hoping that Force do take a different direction with Tommy's love interest, but it is certainly one to keep an eye on. Now back to business. Tommy and Diamond are going to be running their own organization after the split with Junard, although I do think they will eventually find a way of coming back together, but I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Now we hear Diamond warning him in the trailer they can't keep going to war, which is something similar to what he said in season 1 after they hit the Serbs for their territory, but the synopsis gives us a clear indication that Tommy is about to set off a chain reaction of violence in pursuit of his ambition, and no doubt, it is going to include a hell of a lot of violence and death. Now, in season 1, Diamond did say he wanted to do things differently when he was released from prison, although Tommy was able to convince him with the law of money and power. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a few disagreements between Tommy and Diamond about how they move forward. Maybe not to the extent of Tommy.
I like seeing like some shit where like niggas was comparing this nigga Diamond, trying to say that, he's like basically filling in Ghost shoes, but like I don't think so, And I mean, like, they definitely can develop like a brotherly relationship. I'm not saying that's not possible. But overall, like, Tommy was a different person when he was around Ghost. He was a hothead. Ghost was literally the one coming up with the ideas on how to survive. Ghost was the one cleaning up all the messes. Ghost was the one trying to branch into the legal world and do things right. Ghost was the nigga that was always a step ahead. But you know what I'm saying? That's not what Diamond is. I feel like Diamond and Tommy are on equal levels. Like, I mean, let's just be honest with you, bro. Like, when it was Ghost and Tommy, that shit was basically like Batman and Robin.
Of Tommy and Ghost, but this game will always create conflict from within. We hear Diamond saying what are they going to do now as someone gets shot at close range in the barbershop's basement, which is a constant reminder that often money and power is paid in the price of blood.
Who y'all think that was that got shot right there?
You know what? Let's talk about AI for a second. It helps.
You know what? Let's not. Can I skip this shit? Oh, I have to watch 3 more seconds? Fuck this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, if you're gonna color your dreads, like, go all the fucking way. This nigga out here, he said, yeah, bro, I want these fucking zebra dreads. Like, man, fuck that shit, nigga. Real niggas die they shit.
It helps a lot with communication, but it's still really important to make sure that everything I write still feels true.
Hey, bro, hey, fuck what you're saying. Guess what? My glasses are better than yours, bro. Like, you want that fucking zebra print design? Look at that, nigga. This is what you was going for, bitch.
Feels true to myself, and that's where Grammarly.
Fuck that nigga. Fuck Grammarly go.
Junard was a character who divided opinions in season 1, especially because he was hell-bent on killing Tommy Egan, but Chris Lofton, who plays Junard, did bring a breath of fresh air to season 1 of Force with a dominant performance as his character, and with how they were previously teasing Force season 2, I am expecting his character to level up that much more. He's gonna have to have his head on a constant swivel after the CBI were torn in two, but this was a clue in the trailer where Junard seems like he might be back on Team Diamond and Tommy at some point in the season. I don't expect that to happen straight away, but something seems to have brought them back together. The most logical explanation seems like a common enemy, either Miguel Garcia, Markovich, or even the Flynns, who also seem like they're out for blood as well. Now speaking of blood, someone who Tommy did pour a drink out for at the end of season 1 was Liliana. No doubt he's going to be looking for revenge, and the person...
Yo, I'm telling you now, like, see, Empower love to do this shit. Like, I wish in a scene like this, because we know Tommy's gonna put the gun to her, he's gonna play some dramatic ass music, and then she gonna talk her way out of it, and Tommy gonna pull the fucking gun away. Like, I wish we fucking seen Tommy put a lodge a bullet in her throat, and then she stumbles back and maybe like falls off of the fucking building, and Tommy being like, "Up, now I'm beefing with Walter," like, you know, some shit like that. I don't fucking know, but yeah, like I said, I doubt Liliana's gonna die. I'm pretty sure, honestly. Me just making a quick prediction. I'm pretty sure Liliana will probably be like the nigga who gets away from all of this shit. Her brother is probably gonna be the nigga to get clipped soon. But I mean, and Walter Flynn, that nigga's days, we know his days numbered too. I mean, like I said, that nigga, he got nobody. Like Walter is in shambles. But yeah, I mean, like by the end of this shit, we just seen Tommy forgive Tariq and Tasha, and I mean, like Jesus fucking Christ, like Tommy seen Tariq kill his own father. That was like everything. That was Tommy's world. Tommy killed his own baby mama, even though he didn't know fucking Holly was pregnant at the time. He still killed his own baby mama for Ghost. So, you know, he watched Tariq kill Ghost and still forgave Tariq and still forgave Tasha, even though she killed Lakeisha. And I mean, so it's unlikely that Tommy really kills Claudia here. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Isn't Claudia a lesbian too? Oh, fuck, I don't want to get canceled. Jesus fucking Christ, I forgot it's 2023.
Person responsible for killing someone who he unexpectedly grew close to, who we as the audience know is Claudia Flynn. It also seems like Tommy is getting closer to the truth as we see him holding a gun to Claudia Flynn, although I don't see Tommy pulling the trigger as she tells him he won't get that very far. From what we do know of from the Flynns from season 1, they roll deep with bodyguards, and so it is going to be difficult for Tommy to get his hands on Claudia when and if he does find out the truth. But this is one of the situations which he will not let go. Someone's blood will have to be spilled for Liliana. Now, sticking with the Flynns, we know they are a family that were torn in two through the lies and manipulation of Walter Flynn. But as always with parents in the Power universe, they have a way of manipulating things in their favour. We're all too familiar with what we saw in Power Book 2 Ghosts with Monet and Rock in Raising Kanan. So we see Walter Flynn at Claudia's penthouse suite, with Claudia looking over Chicago.
You know, I never really did. I don't know why. Like, you know, we always had like Tasha, we had fucking Monet, we have Rock. And in book 4, you know, we didn't really have that. I never looked at that. They gave us the exact opposite. They gave us the male parental antagonist. It's fucking Walter. Walter, you're a bum!
We all know she's ambitious and hungry, and she very well may have a chance to call more shots in the Flynn organization, as Vic Flynn seems like he's found solace at the bottom.
That nigga thick, bro. Like I said, bro. Like, y'all remember when that nigga fucking T-Pain said, the bartender? Like, bro, I'm telling you now, like, that nigga slapped.
Of a bottle. There were quite a few clues towards the back end of season.
Wait, that nigga movie bot said at the bottom of a bottle. Hold on, hey, run that back, movie bot.
She's ambitious and hungry, and she very well may have a chance to call more shots in the Flynn organization, as Vic Flynn seems like he's found solace at the bottom of a bottle. There were quite a few clues
at the bottom of a bottle
towards the back end of season 1. In tough times, Vic definitely turns to alcohol, and Walter Flynn did warn him last season, whatever answers he's looking for, he won't find it by drinking. Now the death of Gloria is going to leave a huge void in Vic's life, and of course he's going to be...
Wait a second, nigga, you're in Chicago, that's like in Illinois, like motherfuck, like weed is legal, what the fuck are you doing?
Hurting, but I don't want to see his character moping around. I do want to see him react, taking control, and being the leader that his father wants him to be. On the flip side, we all know that that's never going to happen while Walter's in charge.
Yeah, I was about to say, this nigga Walter, like I said, yo, bro, nigga, shouldn't you be in chemotherapy right now? Like, God, like, doesn't Walter have like cancer or some shit? Like, I know he's sick as fuck. This nigga was always coughing in every episode I seen him, man. But yeah, bro, it looked like this nigga fucking... He went from being that fucking sick nigga in the hospital to being the goddamn Terminator. I mean, this nigga grabbed that fucking double-barrel shotgun the same way you do in Call of Duty Zombies.
In charge, who has a set way of doing things in the Flynn organization, even though he's running it down to the ground. We also see him with a shotgun in hand,
look at that
shit,
like a flamethrower.
Pretty much on demon time. Claudia also seems like she's in trouble, maybe from running from a shootout or a war that she started, but can't finish. In the trailer for season 2, we also hear Tommy saying they've got enemies eyeing them and cops clocking them, and this is another huge issue for Tommy in season 2. As violence seems to have swept throughout the city, law enforcement are going to try and bring down Tommy and the rest of the gangs in Chicago. Now throughout season 1 they had eyes on the Flynns and the CBI, and with Tommy sandwiched in between, we saw this particular picture being taken which landed on AUSA Stacey Marks' desk. At that moment in time, he remained a ghost, but not anymore. AUSA Stacey Mark says Tommy Egan is a linchpin that will help them bring down all of these gangs in Chicago, and so they were able to put a name to the face. How they've done that, who knows? But it also does raise a few questions. Tommy's supposed to be dead in New York, and if
I was just about to say that myself. So like now that they know that this is what's going on with Tommy, and we already seen in the end when Blanca, when she came to Chicago in the end, now they know that's Tommy Egan. So I'm guessing either I mean obviously they're the cops, so they can figure out that who it is. But I'm wondering, like, did Blanca come and, like, point him out, like, oh my fucking god, that's Tommy Egan? Like, I'm wondering, and if so, then, like, is what was going on in New York, is that gonna pick back up for Tommy? Like, are they still gonna try to prosecute this nigga for the murder of Ghost? Like, and then that could be the perfect intro for Ghost to come back in. You're gonna let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'm crazy.
And if they found out who this mystery man is, who's causing chaos in the streets of Chicago, then you have to think that New York would have also got wind that Tommy's alive. So let's keep our eyes on how this plays out with the potential crossover, because we did see Blanca Rodriguez who wanted to investigate the mayhem at the end of season 1. Now elsewhere, we're in for one explosive season, literally. The fight for money and power is going to reach an all-time high. It also seems like there are going to be some reunions, along with some betrayals. Tommy's going to be moving a hell of a lot of weight this season, and Merkovich will also be a problem, because correct
Yo, hey, but let's not lie. Hold on.
betrayals.
Let's not
Tommy's
lie.
going to be moving
Like, I mean, like, yes, that is a lot of product, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in season 3 of Ghost, like, them niggas, they had a warehouse full of drugs. So I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, step it up, Tommy.
a hell of a lot of weight this season, and Merkovich will also be a problem, because correct me if
That
I'm
nigga
wrong, the Samurais do
Merkovich!
still occupy the territory that they took by brute force. Law enforcement are going to be hot on their trail, the Serbs and the Mexican rivalry will provide plenty of action and death,
The
and there's also going to
Españolas.
be some huge explosions. We also have to be mindful
Yo, I'm telling you now, like, I lived in Phoenix for, like, damn near 11 years, and I love Mexican people, and them niggas know how to cook.
that Walter Flynn does answer to bigger bosses in Dublin. There's also Tommy Egan's backstory with the returning Kate Egan.
Oh
So
my
along
fucking
with
god, we didn't even talk about this nigga JP. Like, what's going on with him in this season? Him and D-Mac, and what about Kate Egan? Like, yo, you know what? I had, like, kind of, like, I don't want to say I lost interest in Power, but I just was not focused on this shit. I'm being real. Like, I had other shit going on. I'm running some other channels right now, so I've not really been so focused besides my commentary shit here on the Everything Explained Read. But, we might have to step back into the Power universe. Like I said, my subscription for Stars expired, but I might have to renew that bitch.
Along with the violence and death, there also promises to be a lot of mystery questions answered. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with my question. Will Tommy succeed in taking over Chicago by the end of season 2? Will he
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I'm telling you now. Like, I'm starting to really wonder, is this motherfucker Ghost gonna pop up this season? But y'all gonna let me know in the comment section what we're thinking. If you enjoyed the video, like, sub, don't forget sub the movie bot, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.